Hello and welcome back for another brief presentation from the Center for First Year Experience. I'm Danny Emmings, a Student Success Coach at Clarion University, and today's topic will be the 4 P's of college success. I do want to give a nod to Dr. Margaret Lanius at Mansfield University. It is from one of her handouts that today's presentation has been adapted from. So to start, we do have our first P in the 4 P's of college success, and that is planning. And so with planning, we highly recommend for all of our students to use some type of academic planner or a calendar. And so you can see there's lots of examples. You can purchase an academic planner from a store online, and Clarion University also provides a free academic planner to all students, and it is sponsored by the Center for First Year Experience. No matter what though, with the planner, basically what we want you to do is from day 1 of the semester is to take the syllabus that you receive from each class and write down all of the assignments that are listed within that syllabus. And so in doing that, from day 1, you have a pretty good idea of the majority of your assignments, when they will be, and you can also get a feel for what weeks might be the most hectic for you, and when you might have the most assignments or the most tests going on, and so that you can start to plan really early, and so that you can actually start assignments immediately, especially for those weeks where you have multiple tests or papers due. With the planner, it's really beneficial because it can help you overestimate the amount of time that you need to complete assignments. And so if you look in your planner and you see in 2 weeks you have something due, an assignment, whether that's an essay or whatever, you can start to work on it immediately and start to plan and overestimate how much time it might take for you to complete that assignment. So overall, planning is definitely the number one idea that we have for students as far as making sure that they can be successful in college. The second P is for prioritizing, or priorities. And so with prioritizing, it's important as a student to set your limits. A lot of times students obviously aren't only students. They might have part-time or full-time jobs, family obligations, but you have to start to think about what are your limits and how much time do you really have in a week, and even in your waking hours. So setting your limits and learning some self-discipline can be really important for prioritizing and setting those priorities. Self-discipline is one of the key attributes for any person to start to develop while in college, hopefully before then, but while in college as well, so that you can get your assignments done, have things turned in on time. And lastly, with prioritizing, sometimes it takes a little bit of self-sacrifice. So at times we may have to say no to joining another club or to taking on another activity or something, because school and your time in class as well as the prep time that you need outside of class have to be priority number 1 for you as a student. So the second P in our 4 P's for college success is prioritize. The next one is participate. And basically what we're talking about here is actively participating in your education, which goes hand in hand with attending class. So actively participating in class means being there, actively taking notes, asking questions of your professors, actively listening to lectures, and not just letting all that information sort of flow by you and flow by your ears. Attending class is one of the best indicators we have of college success. Some of our best students who graduate from Clarion never missed a single class in their 8 semesters or 4 years as a student here. And so attending class is one of the best ways to ensure that you can be successful and participate in your classes. And with this active participation, we have the idea of taking pride in your work. And because basically sometimes students might complete an assignment and just do it to get it done and move on to the next thing. But if it's not an assignment or something that you're turning in, if you can't be proud of it, then potentially you didn't maybe leave enough time, which goes back to our first P of college success in planning, or some other things. So take pride in your work and make sure that everything you turn in is 100% your best effort. Another part with participating, the next 2 things kind of go hand in hand, is simply getting to know your professors. So you might be in a large class, so there's a lot of students in the class to only 1 professor, or you might have smaller classes at Clarion. But either way, it is very important to get to know the people who are teaching your classes and your courses, as well as the department chair for your major and your advisor. the mix of all of these faculty members can be really beneficial to you as a student, as a support network, as resources for you, as people who just want to help you be actively engaged in your education. So we highly recommend getting to know your faculty members under this idea of participating in your education. The last P for college success deals with a do not. So this one is do not procrastinate as a student in college. A lot of times students maybe come out of high school and they're used to being able to complete assignments pretty rushed right before deadlines. However, in college it is super important to start assignments and studying as early as possible. So that goes back to if you've created a planner, written down your assignments, you can start those things early rather than maybe waiting until the day before or the class before something is due to complete an assignment. So remembering to start things early, and remembering that work has to come first. A lot of times when we procrastinate, maybe it's we're hanging out with friends, we're watching another episode on Netflix, doing something that is more possibly enjoyable than your work. However, the work has to come first as a student. That has to be your priority, number one. And so then you have this sense of accomplishment maybe after you complete an assignment, telling yourself, okay, I can watch one episode of my favorite Netflix series, then I'll go back and complete another assignment, and sort of using that as a reward for completing assignments. And basically with that, it's just a matter of repeat. Start your assignments early, start studying early, work comes first, and if you repeat that cycle, you're very likely to be on the path to college success. So overall, those were our 4 recommendations as far as the P's for college success. We look forward to working with you within the Center for First Year Experience, and thank you for joining us for today's session.